Hello and welcome to SudoKanard. Let's have a look at this weighted little killer Sudoku that was created by some South Korean author for this round. It's the 6th round of WPF Sudoku Grand Prix of 2022. It was worth 99 points. It may seem a bit generous as it was not that difficult. Actually, it turned out that my practice puzzle was a little more difficult. Well, it took me quite some time to solve, nevertheless, because I broke it on the first try as I usually do, but I solved it on second try. So the rule is that every number with an arrow is the sum of the digits in the corresponding direction, except that shaded cells have the digits counted twice. So a good place to start is here. That's obviously a 4. This is obviously a 5. That's an 8. And that's a 3. Well, those were 3 digits, you may say. This 70 is very interesting because if you try to put the maximum values in those cells, and that's something you should always consider when solving a little killer Sudoku, you will notice that the sum with the maximum digits is actually 70. That's, here we have a 9 plus another 9, and that's 18. Here you have 17 plus 17, that's 24, 34. 34 plus 18 is 52, plus 18 with the 9 counted double, that's 70. So we can commit those digits. That's how it's supposed to be. Now this 32, and actually I should use some coloring to... Here, no, that won't work. I should use some coloring to just see that those clues have been used. Well, that's not very interesting. Sorry about that. So this 32 is quite a big number. You can see that this has a maximum of 8, so that's a maximum of 16. And if 8 is used, then this has a maximum of 9 plus 7, and that's 32. We can see that if you try to put a 7 in here, that's 14, and those two must have a sum of 18 or more, which is not possible. So this has to be an 8, those have to be 7 and 9, and because of this 9 is here and 7 is here, and this disambiguates the 8-9 pairs, and those 8s allow us to place an 8 in here, and there's an 8 somewhere in those cells. There's an 8 somewhere in here, and then this 10 clue says that this has to be a 2. And let's have a look at this 25. We already have 18, so the remaining 2 cells have a sum of 7 without using 2 or 3, so it has to be 1 and 6. And there's a 4, 5, 7 triple in here. And we'll see what to do with them when we come to this 29 clue. Now, where do we look? This 13 clue now is with 2 cells without using 5 or 9, so it has to be 6, 7 pair. This 20 clue is interesting because we have 9, so this plus 2 times that must be 11. And you see that 8 is not part of it, so we must do 11 with 2 digits between 1 and 4. And because this is counted twice, this has to be an even digit, an odd digit, sorry. So it has to be a 1 or a 3. But if this is 1, then this must count as 10, so it should be a 5, which is not available. So this is a 3, so we have 12, and this is 4 counted twice. So that's 1 or 2, and that's from 1, 2, and 8. next, we should probably just pencil mark there's a 4 somewhere here. We should probably have a look at this 22, I think. That's the part that caused me to break the puzzle, if I recall correctly. So, what is happening here? My memory is that 8 didn't work. Because if I put an 8 in here, that's already 16. And this plus that plus 2 times this should be 6. Well, actually, that still looks feasible, I think. So that's probably not the right moment to have a look at this. So where should I look? Oh, this 16, sorry about that. This 16 is very constrained. We already have 8. So the sum of this, and and 2 times this must be 8. No, sorry, only 1 time this. That must be 8. And you see that 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 is 8. So we have the minimum scenario. So 8 can't be here, 8 is here. We have a 1-2 pair in here, that's a 1, and that's a 1-2 pair. And now we have a 1-2 pair in this row, so 8 is here, and this I didn't have to have this proved by contradiction or anything to put a 1 or a 2 in here. And then with those 1s and 2s, we know that there's a 1-2 pair in here, which is interesting considering this 20. And we can see that on this row 9 goes here, and the remaining values here are from 3, 6, and 7, and this is not a 7, which is interesting regarding this. This is not a 1, so the values are from 2, 3, 6, and 7. Normally I don't go full pencil marks with 4 candidates or more, but this will be interesting regarding this 22 sum, because now the sum of those two is either 1 plus 4 or 2 plus 1. So that's 4 or 5, and I must get to 18 or 17 with this plus 2 times that. And you see that 18 or 17, they must be somewhat big. 3 would work with a 7 to produce 17, but a 2 or a 3 in this cell would never work. If I place a 3 here, that's 6 plus 5, I need 11 in here, that doesn't work. So we can remove 2 and 3, we have a 6, 7 pair in here, and a 1, 2, 3 triple in those cells, and that's not a 2. So there's a 2 somewhere here, and there's a 2 somewhere here, so on this row 2 is in here. With those 2, we see that on this column 2 must be somewhere in here. Right, so now that's interesting. Do we need to brute force this? Probably. Does 7 work in here? 7, that's 6, 7, 6. If I do this, then I have 12, 19, and those must do 3. That doesn't work. So that's not a 7. So now we have a 3, 6 pair, so this is 7, that's 6, and that's 7, which is huge because now that's 14, and 6 would be too much. So that's a 3, that's a 6, 14, so that's 17, and I need another 5, so that's a 1 and that's a 2. That's a 1, that's a 2, that's a 2. And I get 1 somewhere down there. And that's not a 1, so on this row, 1 can only be here. The remaining digits are 2, 5, and 6. So this is 5 or 6. This is also 5 or 6. This could be a 2 actually. And this is 2, 5, or 6. There's a digit 6 somewhere in here. There's a digit 9 somewhere in here. And I remember definitely doing some Sudoku deductions. That's pretty healthy when you're solving a puzzle, a Sudoku puzzle especially. So 2 is not in here, so the candidates are 4, 5, and 6. 4 candidates here. I won't pencil mark all of them. I need 1, 3, 5, and 6 in those. I think that's it for this part. 8 in this column, 8 can only be here. And in this column, 8 can only be here. So that's 4, 5, 7 triple in here, and I don't see anything to remove any of the possibilities. In this row, in this column, I need 3, 4, and 5. Same thing, I don't see anything. But I see that in this box, 6 must be in here, so that's not a 6. 3, 4, 5, and 6, well, doesn't seem to be very useful to search for more. But the 7's here, put a 7 in here, which is interesting regarding this 29 clue, sorry. This column still needs 4, 5, 6, and 9. So that's 4, 5, or 6, which is interesting regarding the 20 clue. This is 4, 5, 7. And then we have a 4, 5, 7 triple in this column, meaning that those two cells can contain a 3 and a 6. This is also 4, 5, or 7. And I think it's time to have a look at those clues. Let's have a look at this 29 clue. So we already have 14. So we need another 15. We have double this, so double 7 would be way too much. Double 5 would be too much as well, because this plus that should have a total of 5. That wouldn't work. That's a 4. So we have double 7, double 4, that's 22, and this plus that must have a sum of 7, so that's a 5, and that's a 2. And this column needs a 2, it's here, that's not a 5. This row needs a 4 somewhere, that's 3, 6, and 4. That's not a 3. Alright. What else? Those clues have been used. 28 perhaps, that doesn't seem very easy to deal with. 20 more likely. 1, 2, oh, 4, 7 in here, sorry about that. I can remove 4s from there, and that must be a 7. So yes, that here is not 7. And up there I get a 5. So that's not a 5, that's 4, 7, or 9. And then this 20 clue now should be clearer. if I make this 4, that's 8, I need another 12, and that can't be done. So this is a 6. That's 3 and 6. Here I can remove the 6. 3, 4, 5, and 9. Let's finish with this 20. So I already have 12. I need another 8, so that's a 7, and that's a 1. That disambiguates a lot. So 2 goes here. And then that can only be a 4, that's a 9. That's a 4, that's 5 and 7. This 5 now disambiguates a lot at the bottom. That's 5, that's not 5, but this is 6. This 5 here removes those options, 1, 3, and 5, so this is 3 or 5, and this now is a 1, 3 and 1. Here we need to remove the 5s, and that's a 5, 6 pair, I think, that's it. That's not a 6. That's a 4 or a 5, and this row needs a 9, must be here. And that's a 3, I think, that's it. So, what needs to be done? Well, either we use this 31 or this 28, but each of them will disambiguate between the two remaining solutions. So, let's have a look at this 28. We already have 8 plus double 7, that's 22, so that's a 6. And finally, one of the clues was not needed, it seems. We could use only one of those two, but I guess both clues were given just for the sake of symmetry, which is a good reason, I guess. And we can check on this 31, so that's 14, 17, 23 plus double 4, that's 31, all right. So this puzzle was really not that hard, but it required time and caution, because it's very easy to overlook a possibility or just make a computing mistake, which I do all the time, believe it or not. Well, if you're a regular of the channel, you will believe it without a doubt. Thanks for watching this video, and see you soon on SudoKanard.